how colourful they get in here. It's like a party bus.
Welcome to my island party.
Welcome. We start a new video once again in the main streets in the capital of Port Blair, capital of the Andaman Islands. Literally trying not to die as I make these, but there's not that much option to walk, so it is what it is. But look how amazing that tuk-tuk is. Just saying how good your tuk-tuk is. Look, all the stickers on it. That's a damn good tuk-tuk. So this behind me is the bus station here in Port Blair. So here in this bus station is where you get all the government issued buses. So you get a fleet of electric buses, like you can see there. It's quite a big fleet for a small city. They certainly invested quite well into their electronic bus infrastructure. I have ridden one a couple of times. Air conditioned, really quiet, really clean. Probably the best buses in the city in terms of comfort. But the majority of buses that you get from here are these smaller white ones, like you can see behind me. So these are like the government, the state buses. They've all got air conditioning and they're all quite small. And the reason you find they're quite small, because a lot of the routes here on the islands can end up in some quite remote places, a lot of windy roads, a lot of small roads. So some of the bigger buses won't be able to do those journeys, so you get a huge fleet of these buses that they kind of look like Mercedes, but they're not. They're like the Indian version. And pretty much, honestly, most places on South Andaman, even like some of the small remote villages, these buses will go to, and it's always quite a good price. Bus ride from my place to here takes about 10 to 15 minutes and it costs 18 rupees. That's literally 18 pence, or in dollars I think it's about 30 cents. But yeah, they go everywhere. They're quite regular. You do see them around a lot. They're mostly quite comfortable, but I've been on a few of them where the bus driver drives as if he gets a bonus for getting there quicker. Like, they can drive sometimes like crazy. But you could even do some really far distances. Like, you can get some of these buses which might take an hour and it costs 50 rupees to get to the destination. That's like 50p. It's about 60-70 cents, and it's like a long bus ride away. So these are the state run, the government issued buses here on South Andaman in Port Blair, which is again the capital of the Andamans. But right now I'm not interested in these, but I am interested in these and this, and certainly interested in this. Let's check them out. Look at that. So these are the private buses. So the buses that we looked at earlier, like I said, they're all the state run, the government issued buses. Now these ones are what's known as the private buses. And what I love about the private buses here in India is that they're much colourful. They're always got wonderful lights on them. Some of them have got absolute big sound systems coming from them. Here's one just rolling in right now. So yeah, these private buses, always colourful. They've always got like loads of lights on them. Some of them I have seen have absolutely blown my mind. They don't all follow the same type of design. They just all have wonderful paintings on them. Some of them are, I'd say, some of them are like a little bit more boring than others, and some of them are just really bright, like that one that nearly fucking killed me, but that was my fault. Like, for instance, this one, again, it's got its own paint job. It's still colourful, it's just not as exuberant as the other one that I showed you there. So although these are actually private buses, the price is pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. Whenever I've ridden one of these ones, it's exactly the same price. To be honest, it could even be a little cheaper than some of the actual government run ones. But what you find with these bigger buses, there's less routes. these sorts of buses they tend to stick to the main roads that you find here on South Andaman, which will still take you to a lot of destinations. And some of these buses go really far, like I'm talking 5-6 hours away from this destination. But you won't find that they'll cover absolutely every part of the city like the smaller government ones, because these buses just simply cannot drive some of those routes, because some of the roads, especially getting to some of the villages here, end up on some really small windy roads that these buses just cannot take. And another thing about these buses, which is you don't notice it on the government ones, they have certain places for, well, I'll say for men and women. Certain seats, certain rows are put aside just for women, and some put aside for men. Although it doesn't say men and women, they've got a really nice spin on it. It says ladies and gents. So some of the rows are only for the ladies and some of the rows only for the gents. Not quite fully sure why that is. That's probably for safety. Maybe there's a history here of bad things happening when ladies and gents sit together. So I think just to offer that form of safety, you'll get the separate rows for them to sit. I remember when I was on the metro in Chennai, you had a whole carriage that was only for women and children. And again, I think it's just more for their protection. So let's go take a look inside, and I'm super hyped for this. And this is how they can look inside. Just look at it. It's full of colours. It's colourful on the outside. To be honest, this is probably one of the nicer newer ones. I want to point this out, I really do. JBL speakers, like that is a proper subwoofer that you've got on this bus, man. This bus is like a rolling nightclub. You've got more speakers here. Look, another speaker here. And when these buses are riding and they've got the sound on, it absolutely bombs. Luckily, I've managed to just step onto this before it's actually gone anywhere. And this is how they look up front. They're just, say, so colourful. They've got lots of decoration. Totally different from the government buses that I was just showing you. Look. Very clean as well. So yeah, how amazing is that? Just like in pretty much buses all over the world, the destination that it goes to is always displayed on the front. And this is where we are. We're at the Aberdeen Bazaar. And this is the very first place that I stayed on the Andaman Islands, a little neighbourhood called Batu Basti. So one more crazy thing about these buses, and I've experienced this on more than one occasion, and it's weird, but sometimes if you're not at an actual stop and you want to get on it, if you flag the bus down, it will slow down, but it won't come to a stop. So you kind of have to get on while it's still moving. You kind of just have to jump in the door. And it's the same with getting off. If you want to get off not at a designated stop, the bus isn't going to stop. You're just going to have to jump off it. And it slows down, but it just doesn't quite stop. And it's a bit daunting the first few times when you actually do that. So after talking about it so much, let's go and ride it. And I hope they put the sound system on.
Hello, hi sir.
Hi. Just look how colourful they get in here. It's like a party bus, and it's just a normal city private bus. So I've asked him when we depart, will he put the sound system on? And I just want to show you like the way buses are here. It's fucking wild. These buses don't have air conditioning, but they make up for it in lights and sounds and vibes. You don't need air conditioning. You've got a window. I love these buses so much. Seriously, just listen to that. Wow. Wow. What an experience. I really hope I just captured the vibe of the private bus right there. I really, really do. Amazing. fucking amazing. So I'm going to wrap it up here for now. But yeah, this has been a foreigner's experience of riding the bus here in Andaman. I really hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have. Please give me a like on it if you have. Give me a comment, let me know what you think about buses and riding the bus here in India. And of course, give me a subscribe for more. And I will see you on the next one. Peace out, big love.